Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning with me, Brigand Hall. Let's go.
Make it quick. This is perfection. Good luck with the gnome. Especially if you plan on killing him.
I don't know that I do.
The shadow
Should talk to him first to see what he has to say.
awaits.
I hope you're ready for this.
Me too. Are you ready to go?
Of course. This is bound to be informative. I'm just disappointed I never had a chance to see the original Well of Souls. I believe our new friend has a disturbing part. This island smells like death. Stay behind me. Whatever that gnome's been up to, it looks like he's made a few
Her stuff keeps getting interrupted. So Sons of Laz. Alright, so we've run across these guys a couple times before. Seems like he's being accredited with their creation. She's actually doing some damage to this guy. Thank goodness.
Glad you didn't turn out like those.
Yeah, her sentences keep getting interrupted like halfway through. Yeah, so once they start swinging, they can't be interrupted. Not that they really do any damage, but it's still good to know. Am I diseased? Laz's Kiss. Minus 100% bleeding resist. Okay, well.
Just as Hughes thought, Ventrinio used the same wards from their old lab. This'll be quick. Follow me and be careful. The Laz are coming from somewhere in here.
Okay.
This is...
The energy from the Well of Souls is overwhelming. Damn it! What's wrong? And why are there so many Laz?
expected a little more.
I assume that one's beneath me. So it's constructed. It almost looks identical to the
Sounds
first
like
Well
our
of
rat is
Souls.
caught in a trap. I'm sure he'd be happy to help whoever saves him.
What is that? This floor is a little trippy. It's like something you'd see at like a skating rink or something from the 90s.
Careful, or we'll get trapped up there too. Here's where we part ways. I'll stop the Laz at the stairwell. You get upstairs and retrieve Ventrinio.
Okay, I'll get Ventrinio.
Shouldn't be hard to find him. Keep moving up and follow the cowardly shrieking. I'll hold this staircase. Move!
It's not like there's an overwhelming... Oh, come on now. It's not like there's an overwhelming amount of enemies or anything. There's what, 6 inside and 9 outside? Oh, okay. This place is a little morbid. You have a lever, big guy?
A new source of power? What sort of nonsense is this? If anything had come in here, my detection spells would have... Wait. Who's down there? Show yourself.
I don't think that I will. Well, until I'm ready. Pick up Laz Remains. Like last remains. The well does a passable job of recreating a subject's flesh and sinew, but I'm having a monstrous time properly catching the departed's essence. Early successes back in Saltwell are proving difficult to reproduce, although I can't be sure if it's a result of more powerful magical sources, or any of the dozens of other problems that came with the shoddy construction of this darn tower. Our best results come out as little more than Sons of Laz. Yes, like in the old rhyme. These ex-soldiers shamble and moan, much like our other unfortunates who have been born that crude epithet. But rather than a result of inebriation or insanity, these half-dead beasts simply don't have a functional mind in their skull. Or perhaps they're missing a soul in their hearts, or spleens, wherever the darn things are supposed to be. Further testing is required. At least they keep the locals away, and they feed themselves, often on each other. I will take it. Destroyer's Greaves. Hey, they're better. Ardmanon called Destroyer couldn't swim, and died of starvation stranded on an island within sight of land. Oh, those are pretty rad.
Damn it all! I don't care who you are. Get up here! That must be the key to stabilizing the well.
Okay, just trying to read a note, that's fine. Pick up an investment. V. I'm going to express my deepest regret for the form's verdict in your imminent sentence. Believe me that I argued most stridently on your behalf, and not merely because I had invested in the work of you and your colleague, Mr. Hughes. I think we both agree that in the pursuit of science, we must forgive minor missteps when they are followed by great leaps. But alas, my colleagues still hold quite provincial views on the subject of necromancy, and so your fate was sealed. But perhaps there is another way. Tomorrow morning your executioner will arrive to escort you from your cell. After a small donation, I've seen to it that you shall be delivered not to your eternal rest, but to a discreet caravan outside of Odessa. From there a moderate price has seen to it that you, as certain sets of your note salvaged from the evidence against you, shall be delivered to Cluricon, where a truly monumental price has been paid to construct a new laboratory for your work in a discreet location. I trust you appreciate the depth of my investment in your work, just as I trust that it shall return a grand dividend to you, your one and only investor. Oh, otherwise known as Octian. Let's fall back real fast. See you later, buddy.
This is what I get for using all those soldiers. I never should have let them keep their swords.
Very hard. I thought it said very easy. He's still kicking. he attacked the Lanchi. Interesting. What do you think you're running to? So I wonder if Ventrinio purposely had Lianchi here, or if they're just drawn to all the dead, since they eat corpses.
When you get up here, try not to look directly into the well. It can be a little upsetting.
Well, it's not my first rodeo, so I'll probably be okay. I mean, this is a little upsetting. It's like you have some Nurgle leaking through.
Damn it! Hurry! Before the whole well starts to collapse.
I'm not super worried about your well, buddy. It's a nice chest I can't open up. How do I pick up the new assistant? Octian, the old fiend. I don't know when you found this new assistant, but he's an absolute godsend. I may have expressed doubts when you said a single helper could take the place of an experienced lab staff, but he's proven more than capable in every area. Lab work, resource collection, even repelling any Fae curious enough to come to the tower. In every instance, he's met every challenge with a steely-eyed flair. I've tried asking how he got his remarkable training, but he's loath to talk about his past. In fact, even casual inquiries are rebuffed with no small degree of menace. I know you paid a fortune to hire him from whatever sources you use, but are you absolutely certain that he can be trusted? Still, it's a moot point. I'd hardly be able to continue my work without the help of this marvelous assistant. So much so, in fact, that I've taken the liberty of attuning him to the well's core. So just in case the worst does happen to him, there's a chance I could bring him back for future work. And if he came back as a simple Laz, he'd surely be twice as skilled as a normal man. Hey, he's talking about me. I'm pretty sure. It's a bunch of spider sacks.
Took your time, didn't you? Gods damn it! Ever since the Balor was defeated, the Chaos magic sent the well off its alignment. You show up, and now the Laz are... Wait. What? It's you. You're alive. But I saw you die.
Your hat is very silly. Who are you?
I'm Ventrinio, of course. Don't you remember me? You were my assistant here at the Well of Souls. You were going to help me change the world. But of course, that was before you died.
What do you know about my death?
It was terrible. You were the best assistant I ever had. Who else could have helped me get into Alabastra? Who else had that ambition? We got more than enough Prismere, but you wanted to track down the power source, even if it meant sneaking right onto Gadflow's nose. I spent days trying to recover your body, but I never expected to find you alive, or for you to return. Speaking of which, how did you return anyway?
I died in Alabastra?
Of course you did. You went there to steal Prismere to power the well. And you wanted to go after the source of the Prismere itself. You went off, geared for war, sneaking into Baal itself. You damned fool! I had a better chance of bringing you back from the dead than I had of changing your mind. But I wasn't able to do either.
Well, Hughes brought me back.
What? That's impossible. You were attuned at this well. You've never even set foot in his lab. Ha! Hughes is a joke. He doesn't have the stomach for this work. Don't try waking the dead if you're not ready to make a few corpses, I say. But the well is coming down around us. Quick! I've got to slow the energy and shut this thing down. And don't... Oh, damn it all. Here they come. Hold them off. The Laz are here. Hold them off while I try to stop the flow of energy to the well.
Well, I'm good at this part.
Ignore the rumbling. Focus on the lads.
Was that it? Oh, here's a guy. Oh, he's not on the map. Alright, well, let's go all out then.
There. Perfectly safe. I think.
Well, safer than we were. Who are these Fae? What are you doing here? Frost Skirmisher. Oh. Sidon must have shown up.
Yes. Get what we need and let's go.
All my work gone. Damn it all. But at least we're still alive. Once again, I triumph over death itself.
Alright, can you help us get to Alabastra?
Going back into Alabastra. Well, I still have a way in, but it's more dangerous now than the last time we went. I'll need more Prismere if I'm to rebuild the well. And I suppose I owe you something for saving my life. Perhaps this talisman can help you. It's a little something I salvaged from the debris. It might just help against whatever killed you the first time.
Soul Lens. How'd you get into Alabastra?
We got in with a little help, of course. See, it's all because of Callus Dren, the defender of pride. In his house, no one can stand before him. None can even approach, unless you have my little secret.
And what's your secret?
Patience, patience. You'll have it soon enough. I'm going to have to dig it out of the rubble of the tower. Go to the field of Huber, and I'll meet you there. And if you value your life, do not approach Dren.
Okay, a Well of Souls.
The Well of Souls is a noble project. Yes, sacrifices have been made. Laws have been broken. People have died. And they will continue to die. Don't you see? That's exactly what I'm trying to prevent. How many have died in this war? Thousands. The bodies are shoulder deep in the battlefields, but for trying to cure it, they call me a monster?
Shoulder deep for a gnome or shoulder deep for Alfar humans? Ventrinio.
My name is Ventrinio Dessalini, and I am Professor Emeritus Abscondus of Postmortem Studies at the Edessa University. Of course, that was all before I began work on the Well of Souls. Such an important undertaking doesn't leave much time for other pursuits, you know.
Prismere.
We needed tremendous quantities of Prismere to fuel the well, but it's almost unheard of outside of Alabastra, so we had to sneak in to gather our own.
Octien.
Octien. The man lacked vision. Can you believe all he wanted was his own personal immortality machine? Such a narrow-minded goal for a Templar. Still, he wasn't squeamish about what had to be done in order to develop the well. I suppose he paid well, too, if you consider that any reason to pursue the sciences.
My death.
You don't remember it? Well, why dredge up the past? After all, you're fine now, aren't you? You're not the type to hold a grudge, right?
We'll find out, won't we?
Okay. We were in Alabastra getting Prismere. I never thought it'd be dangerous. At least not very. Oh, don't give me that look. Accidents happen, and you can't make an omelet without leaving a few corpses. I didn't know anything about you before you worked for me. Octian hired you and told me you were a resourceful assistant. That's all I know.
Do you remember anything?
You didn't like talking about yourself. Actually, you didn't like much of anything. Honestly, you were a terror to be around. But you've changed. I can tell. Before you died, you would never have been this diplomatic. You probably would have knifed me for answers by now. Oh, speaking of which, you left this in your room before you died. Take it, take it.
Okay. Laz.
Partial successes at best. They remember how to fight, but that's about all they're good for. Named them after an old nursery rhyme. Damn things are always moaning all the time. I thought it might shut them up to give them a name.
A Clericon.
Horrible, messy, ugly place. Too dark to keep bodies preserved and too hot to keep them from stinking. Oh, to be back in a cave in Rathir.
Hughes.
He wasn't fit to hold my crucible, much less carry on my work. He could barely even stand to cut open a warm corpse for study. I can't imagine the reason you came back in his well instead of mine. Probably some freak attunement transfer.
House of Pride.
Arrogant fools, all of them. At least we could sneak past them when they were overconfident. Now that the army's at their gate, they'll be watching for us.
Gadflow.
Gadflow's got an empire built on Prismir. Think of all the power he's sitting on. And he's wasting it on swords and bows.
Fair Gorda.
Simple bone soldiers, easy enough for any decent mage to build and animate. They're not really alive any more than a puppet is.
Dren.
Dren, defender of pride. One of twin defenders, quite powerful in their homes. But did you know they were also entirely immune to each other's powers? And it seems the Defender of Valor quite disappeared when her house fell. Imagine how useful she would have been if she were here today.
Death.
We were in Alabastra, and I never thought it'd be dangerous. At least, not very. Oh, don't give me that look.
I've already listened to this.
Happen. You can't make an omelet without leaving a few Fine. We were collecting Prismir and Alabastra. We needed it to power the well, of course, and you got a wild idea to track down the source of the power. I tried to stop you. I really did. But you decided to sneak into Amethyst, and I wasn't about to get killed along with you. I spent days trying to get your corpse back, but to no avail. Much as I hate to admit it, I should thank Hughes for succeeding where I failed.
Dannestar.
After an unfortunate incident with the Templars, Octian decided to move my work someplace a little further from the public eye. We both felt that an island in another land behind the front lines of a war might just be far enough from prying eyes.
Alan Shear, or Alan Shear.
You mean your deadly little shadow? I know her type. All smiles now, but it's just so she can get close enough to stick her knives in you.
Agarth.
I know the type. Lucky youth, peaked early, then crawled into a bottle and waited to die. I'm impressed you dragged him away from that bottle, but I wouldn't expect him to do any heavy thinking.
Alright, what can I do to help?
Just go to the Field of Huber and wait for me. I'll meet you down there once I can find this damned essence.
Okay, I think that's everything to talk about with him. He gave us something. The Soul Lens. A heavily enchanted piece of the Well of Souls. The talisman collects the life force of enemies and turns it against them. And it's junk. He also gave us... Oh, some junk. Okay, we'll just get rid of that.
And remember, don't go near Dren until I get...
I'm sure we can trust Ventrinio, but I'll keep an eye on him.
Sons of Laz.
Mindless soldiers who fight without thoughts. Really just wild magic moving a corpse around.
Okay, and Dren.
Sidon says the barrier into Alabastra is a result of a Fae named Dren, the defender of pride. Or so they say. All I know is that everyone who walks into that barrier falls to their knees and gets cut down if they don't get pulled back out. Everyone except Ventrinio.
House of Pride.
The House of Pride is the gateway to Alabastra. Until we can find a way through it, Gadflow can send his soldiers through.
And what can I do? What can I do to help?
I'll stay here and keep an eye on Ventrinio. We'll meet you at the field of Huber, to the south. You go
Okay.
into Alabastra.
Field of Huber. I guess it's
once.
right there.
You can do it again.
I didn't see Sidon on this side. So I wonder where he went.
So, it's off to face Dren, is it?
House of Pride.
The House of Pride gave us our greatest leaders and most brilliant witches. And what's more, they were blessed with our defender, Dren. With Dren in his house, it could never fall. But we never thought it would succumb to the Tuatha's corruption.
Foe's Hearth.
Legend says it was where the first alliance between enemies was formed. And we Fae do so love to repeat legends, don't we?
Dren.
Dren is the defender of the House of Pride. He may help the Tuatha, but he doesn't serve them.
How can we fight Dren?
Isn't that why you found that gnome? I certainly don't intend to bury Dren in bodies. What does one do in the face of...
Okay. We have a path forward. I'm gonna go and repair my stuff. Because I don't want to start exploring the next... the southern, what's it called? Caelid Coast yet. So I'm gonna call this episode here shortly. Gonna repair my stuff, drop off a few other things, like all of that. Alright, let's find that blacksmith. Billy something. Or Billis Ada.
It's good to
There we go.
keep working.
This guy's making a killing off of me. Oh, I also need to go talk to the healer, who is not here. So did he contract a disease? I guess we'll go back to the very first town. I forgot the name of it. Gorhart. It's been so long.
May I help you? Be careful out there.
Gosh, it's been so long since I've been to Gorhart. We were so young back then. Alright, our final preparations are complete. We will head to... fast travel to Damalrock. And then we'll go stand at the edge to... whatever it's called. The southern Caelid Coast. We'll grab this lore stone since we're over here.
like the gilded ghosts of youth. The curving plates of fey-like scrolls decorate the life's guard of this impostor. It says, "I am like you, Fey Spirit," and shimmers with a brilliant gleam. This cuirass of the Fey Hunter.
This guy's chasing me? They were. They chased me all the way from the Caelid coast to this little path. This is a neat little area. A little Essence of Fate back here. Alright, I'm gonna call it. I can't talk. I'm gonna call the episode here. In the next one, we'll explore the southern Caelid coast. We have a couple of dungeons to take care of here as well, and we'll get to that. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next episode.